If you have any question, 質問何でもいいです。書いてください。So I'm trying to do this live streaming. Oh yes, if you want to request here to join the live streaming, that's good. You can request it to me. And then also here, what would you like to talk about? You can actually write down the request what you want to join, like you want to talk about something about Japanese culture, you want to learn specific things. If you have any requests, you can write it down here. And also you can join the live streaming on Instagram. uh YouTube or Facebook, you cannot join the live streaming, but it's Instagram, you can join the live streaming. So if you want to have any specific question, you can write down here. And also, if you're watching on YouTube or on Facebook, you can write down the request that you want to learn. You can write down your comments. Yeah, I can see the comments. Okay. So today is just no title. タイトルなしです。タイトルなしの whatever live streaming。タイトルなしの何でもいいからやってみようライブストリーミングですね。So if you have any request to learn about Japanese language, Japanese culture, anything. So hello Jax. Jax, hello. Tell me, how are you? 元気ですか? Is it acceptable to mix hiragana and katakana to form a word? Word mixed hiragana and katakana. Yeah, it's possible. It's not like a official. But it's possible. Yeah, I can write it down here for you. For example, like a more slang, you can mix the word. I mean, like a phrase, hiragana and katakana. For example, this is really common. Like kakkoi. It's really common to write it down like this way. So I just write it down here and then show like this. Kakkoi. So if you are watching on Instagram, you cannot see my screen exactly. If you really want to learn something seriously and about Japanese, try to join my Facebook or YouTube. You can search my name, Terumi Kai, or Japan Language Factory. You can search YouTube or Facebook, okay? Because you can see the screen, okay? Because Instagram, you can't see exactly. So, okay. So, kakkoi is the word cool, right? Cool. Good looking. So, you can exactly mix like this. Kakko is katakana and i is hiragana. You see, you can actually mix. It's not like a really official way, but it's so many native people write down like this, like slang. Yeah, so that's why kakkoi. Good looking means good looking. So try to use to me. So you can really check if you learn today how to use or not. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so like あの人かっこいい。めっちゃあの人かっこいい。So this guy is really handsome. Like this. You can use it. かっこいい。Or めっちゃかっこいいな、あの車。めっちゃかっこいいんじゃないあの車。Wow, this car looks really cool. Yeah. Like this. You can use it. Mm-hmm. So here is the question on Instagram. よいしょしょさん No irrelevant today's topic is majority of audience interest, but Terumi-san skin glowing, beautiful. Oh, thank you so much. What is the secret? Someday I want to know. Okay, no problem because today's title is nothing. No title. Today is just live streaming and then just talk each other, learn something. Yeah, so that's why my previous job was a cooking teacher, and I was teaching how to have the beautiful skin only with the food. That was my actually previous job. I published the book in Japanese. Try to search my name on the Amazon Japan. My name is Terumikai, so you can actually search how actually solve my old skin problem only with the food. Yeah, because I was really sick. I mean, I was really bad. I had really bad skin, like eczema, allergy, and like all the time my nose running, and my skin was really red, and it's really horrible. It's all the time itchy, and I was spending a time like this for 20 years, and the serious problem was more go further, not only skin. For example, I had starting like my period stopped because I did too much medication, so I drank a pill a lot, and then put it a lot of medicine because I wanted to solve the skin problem. And it's, it's more goes serious problem when you're using a lot of medication. And that's when I was 22. I actually solved this problem only with the food. So this experience book is on Amazon Japan if you want to hear. So that's why the quite good question. So why I have a beautiful skin only with the food. So quick, because it's gonna be a long, long seminar about that. So it's a quick advice. So it's first of all, our body is like the pipe of the water. So because it's 90% of our body is water, right? Raw water. So if you don't drink the water for 20 days, you're gonna simply die. So weak, right? We are. If you don't drink any water for 20 days, you can easily die, which means we need the water. So in order to have a really beautiful skin, you really need good water. But it doesn't mean you can just drink, because you're gonna lose just the water like a pee. So drink and it's go as a pee. So how you can actually really earn the nice nutrition with the water to have a beautiful skin. So there is something you need a specific way to eat with the good nutrition, with the good water. So that's the way to actually have the beautiful skin. So of course, you're not gonna put a lot of expensive like things. It doesn't help because it's that the problem is inside your body. So that's why the water and the food is a key. So let's quickly just to finish this. Irrelevant, but it's yes, today's topic is no topics. We can talk about like my specialization about skin problem, or of course we can talk about the Japanese language, how to speak a lot of languages at the same time, or how can you learn Japanese in 2 months, or anything. Yeah, we can talk about. Okay, so you can write it down here. Is there any request? Because today we don't have any topic. So you can just write down this request so I can really answer any question. Any question. Okay. So wave on Instagram, and here let's see on YouTube and on Facebook. So hello, do you watch anime right now? No, I don't watch anime. No, no. It's lie. I said lie. I'm sorry. I watch because I have a daughter. My daughter is 5 years old. We watch always like a Ghibli anime, like Totoro or Haru no Goku no Shiro. Haru no Goku no Shiro is in English. How it's the title? Haru no Goku Shiro. I don't remember the English title. How? Moving Castle. Yeah, Moving Castle. I think something. So Haru no Goku Shiro, and also Raputa. Raputa is the English title. How it's called? What was it? Raputa. Tenku no Shiro Raputa in English title. I don't remember. Sky Castle. No. Something. Okay. Anyway, Ghibli anime I watch really good education for the children, And sometimes Pokemon I watch with my daughter. But if I am alone, not like expecting to watch with my daughter, I think I always say my most favorite anime is Lupin the Third. Lupin the Third. This is my most favorite anime, but it's a lot of criminality, crime things. Kill the people, and the blood is like blah. So that's why I just don't want to watch with my daughter. So I just don't watch this Lupin the Third with my daughter. But if I'm alone, this is my most favorite anime. But not now. I don't watch every day now. When I was a high school student, I was like a more otaku of Orupin the Sad. I had all the figure, all the like gun stuff in the my home, and what the car is like using in the Rupin the Sad. I had like a car figure. Yes, I had. I was otaku when I was a high school student. Yeah, so pretty much like that. So hello, girl. Hi, hi, hi. Do you know Koten? Koten. Koten is the Japanese fairy tale. I mean the mythology. I think I have no idea. I'm not a historical person. I'm not like an educational super person, so I don't know Japanese like old mythology. But it's Koten is okay. It's because it's today's Japanese lesson also. Yeah, okay. Here it's written in the your comment. I can just share here. Koten is like this. Koten demo yomeru. No, I can't read Koten. It's like for the European people, do you really like to read Latin? Something like that. That question. Yeah, who actually really likes to read all the time Latin? No, no one read Koten in Japan. Believe me. Yeah, okay. So, hi. So from Facebook, I'm from Japan. Nagano. Hi. Hi, Nagano. I love Nagano. Nagano. Okay. So what about Death Note? Death Note, I think it's good. Really nice story. I think amazing story. I watched the movie. I watched the little anime also. I think it's really good. What do you think? Yes. Okay. So next. Oh, Sunny Netherland. Hi. Hi. I really wanted to join the music festival in Netherlands actually, but this year I can't visit. Next year. So a- any anime showing samurai and such stuff. Any anime with Edo period storyline. Edo period storyline. Ah, Vagabondo. I think this is it's gonna be good. Vagabondo. Vagabondo is how you say the one of the most famous samurai story. It's Miyamoto Musashi. Miyamoto Musashi. Musashi Miyamoto. Try to search Miyamoto Musashi. One of the most famous samurai. It's really his life is really nice, and I think you can watch. And it's samurai is usually Edo period to before Edo period, like. So I think you can enjoy Vagabondo. Vagabondo is the manga title. It's not anime. Okay, so it's gonna be manga. Yeah. Sorry, anime Edo period. Anime Edo period. I don't know. I don't know. Anime with the Edo period. Mm. It's kind of like Naruto is like kind of, I think, recent, like a little bit early, not too old, but not too recent. I think Naruto, but it's not about history things. It's more ninja or like technique things. So I don't know. Yeah, I I think the best is I think like this, manga. Vagabondo is one of the really famous manga. It's about Edo period exactly. It's more like a true story. So I think it's gonna be great. Hmm. So here in the comment, hello, has Japanese language more similarity with Chinese or Korean? Uh, it's really difficult to say. So Japanese language is more similar with the Chinese about the letters, writing. I was recording the another YouTube video. So this one. This is kanji 2500. I was just explaining what is this book. And then if you really want to speak, it's not necessary to learn kanji, you know. This is, actually my specialization right now is the how to speak Japanese in just 2 months. So that I was talking, children learn kanji later. You know, the children, when you a baby, you learn listening first, right? Because the baby, oh yeah, you can't speak. Oh yeah, and listening. 3 years, this is crazy. 3 years, the baby is just listening. Almost they can't speak anything, it's just listening. So the human, how we actually learn the language is baby, when they are babies, they just listening. So they can just understand, right? And after that, 3 years old, start speaking a little bit. Of course, some babies start speaking suddenly, 1.5 year old or 2 years old, but 2 to 3 years old, they have a first word like mom, 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 or something. This is really common. So it's so human, how we grow is the listening first, and after that, mom, mom, mom. So speaking. So when they go to the elementary school, like they start kanji. If you are Japanese, they are already speak fluently, of course. So because 7 years old, the first year of elementary school, they can speak perfectly. They can listen perfectly. So that's why they go to the elementary school and they start learning this crazy letters. I mean, Japanese letter, right? Right? So this is about this letter is really similar to Chinese, but the pronunciation is totally different. What I know in Chinese is shay shay. Shay shay. Shay shay is thank you, right? Thank you is shay shay. We say arigatou gozaimasu. Arigatou gozaimasu. Arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you. Shay shay. Shay shay is Chinese thank you. So you see, it's totally different. Shay shay to arigatou gozaimasu. Totally different, right? So the pronunciation is totally different. It's more Japanese language is more like Italian or Spanish or Portuguese. That is this a, i, u, e, o. It's really clear sound. But Chinese is shay shay. It's totally different pronunciation. This is funny, right? Yeah. So that's why Spanish people or like Greek people or Italian people can speak quite nice Japanese because this, uh, really open vowel like a, i, u, e, o. It's really easy for you, right? And then about Korean, the grammar is I think it's a little bit similar, but the letter is totally not this letter. We don't use it. Yeah. So anyway, I was talking about how Japanese people learn the language. So first of all the word is the same, right? You actually born as a baby and you just listen for 3 years without any talking. And the next step you can say mom, mom, mom. So you can speak a little bit. So until 7 years old, pretty much you're not sure how to read and how to write down, but they are fluent speaker. So this is a key. If you really want to speak Japanese, you should never start kanji first. If you really want to learn kanji first, then you will forget about being a speaker because look, 2,500 kanji you start, you practice your speaking. Yeah, because you usually sitting on the chair, you actually you try to study, right? You have to focus on the kanji if you really want to complete. But like me, because I want to talk to you like here, I'm not good at English spelling, but I can speak. So if you really want to speak, you don't need to start these things because you see, 7 years old Japanese children cannot understand any kanji, but they can speak fluently. So you have two choices. Either you want to be a professor of kanji or you just want to communicate naturally. Mm-hmm. So anyway, so Japanese language is more similar with Chinese or Korean. It's like a half and a half. I think its grammar is a little bit more similar with Korean, and the letter is pretty much same with Chinese, and pronunciation is totally different. It's this is like similar question. Is it like German is more similar with English or Greek? Is some part a little bit similar with Greek, some part is a little bit similar with English? It's like that. It's not exactly something I can say. Okay. So, hello here on Instagram. If you have any request here, you want to ask about learning Japanese or anything about me or anything. Today's live streaming is no title. So here, thank you so much. We have a lot of questions. So let's see step by step. Um, Here from Oh, okay. From Tokugawa era to 19th century. Yeah, I'm not good at history, so don't ask me about history so much. Yeah. Edo period is 400 years ago. So that's until 400 years ago we had samurai, not now. Yeah. So we have a lot of questions. Thank you so much. Kalispera. Japanese is closer to Chinese. Yes, kanji. I'm studying Korean. It's very different. Yes, okay. Um. mm, yeah. Could you recommend classic books in Japanese literature independently of period or century? Thank you in advance. Japanese literature. I have no idea. Do you have any idea, hey, or Japanese? I never talked about Japanese literature with any Japanese. Maybe yeah. Here it has a nice answer here.源氏物語、平家物語という古い小説を読めるようになりたいという気持ちがあり。Yeah, something like that. 源氏物語 or 平家物語 is, I think it's Japanese literature or historical book. Yeah, I think it's gonna be good. Um, hmm, hmm, hmm. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, try imagine. Do you like your country history so much, like talk about all the time? Or I don't know. I think European people like about more history so much. I guess Japanese people also. Yes, if you are living in Japan, if you turn on the TV, you can see always like historical, like a drama or like a TV show. Yes, one channel for sure, like all the time, like about Edo period or something, but most of pretty much like our modern Japanese, it's we like so much about comedy, we like so much about technology, manufacturing, all these things, most of Japanese, modern Japanese society. So if you really want to uh find person who really like about Japanese history, who is native Japanese, not easy actually, because I've never talked about like really Japanese history with the Japanese. So this is funny, right? Because um when I was studying Greek and in Japan, when I was studying Greek in Tokyo, around me, everybody like Greek mythology. But when I actually visit Greece, no one talk about Greek mythology so much. Like if I really ask, like, what about Greek mythology? No one really don't want to talk about like mythology for 2 hours. But it's funny, right? Because foreigner loves this country's history than actual local person. So that's why you guys, as a foreigner, I see a lot of people like the Edo period, like martial arts. Yes, exactly. But if you really meet native Japanese, not many people really loves Japanese martial arts. Not so much. It's baseball is pretty much more popular. Baseball or football like soccer is more common. And if you really want to find a person who loves martial arts or who loves Japanese really history, it's gonna be really difficult. So that's why for me, it's really difficult to answer these type of question. I am really just a normal Japanese. Yeah, so that's why this is a difficult things. So today is just I'm doing this random live streaming. If you have any question about Japanese language, how to learn fast, or in general learning language, because I can speak English, Greek, and a little bit German. So that's why if you have any question about learning language or learning Japanese, you can request here if you want to learn something. Yes. So, next question is, Hi, ohayo gozaimasu. So, it's a Zen year. It have a little spell mistake. No problem. But I know spelling is difficult. So, ohayo gozaimasu. But it's the correct one is ohayo gozaimasu is the correct. So, today you can learn good morning spelling. Okay? Yeah. おはようございます。not おはいよございます。Ohio is like the like American state, right? Yeah, not Ohio. So Ohio, Ohio. Yeah. You know, what about your pronunciation? Try to pronounce by yourself. You're really speaking correctly in Japanese. Ohayo gozaimasu. Ohayo gozaimasu is a good morning. Yeah. If you really want to be able to speak Japanese confidently, it's quite important to pronounce it perfectly, right? Yeah, so that's why even just a good morning, but it's really important to pronounce it as much as possible, like native. So today, let's do a little bit pronunciation training. So, good morning in Japanese. Let's be like a native. So, おはようございます。おはようございます。Quite many foreigners say おはようございます. No, it's like a good morning. No, good morning. So that's おはようございます。おはようございます is a perfect pronunciation. But it's when you see the spelling, you cannot see the actual tone, right? So that's why it's good to really hear the native tone so you can really speak like a native. There's no way to be able to speak like a native if you're not listening the native tone. Okay? This is the point. Writing and speaking is two totally different things. I have seen a person who can write down, person who cannot speak. Person who can write down some hiragana, katakana, kanji, but they cannot speak perfectly. And at the same time, of course, person who can speak, person who cannot spell. Now, of course, I understand you want to do both at the same time, but it's no one learn at the same time. No one learn. Look, as I said in the beginning, how the baby learned the language. No one do at the same time, right? So what is the most important things is you will prioritize what skill is most important. So if you really think the speaking is the most important, then you have to do the speaking training first, because it's not easy to really pronounce it like a native. Then you need a lot of time, or you really want to learn the kanji first, then you need to focus on only kanji first. But you can't try to learn at the same time. I have a reading skill, I have a speaking skill, I have a little listening skill, but usually, it's like I want to be a professional about basketball or volleyball or like and football or any sports, like at the same time, if you try to do, you can't be professional, right? If you want to be a professional football player, then you actually do only football player, only football, you play only football. So that's why the same things. Japanese language is one of the most difficult language. If you try to do the reading and the writing and speaking and listening at the same time, everything, it's all divided, and it's you cannot be anything. It's about professional. So that's why you don't feel actual progress so much. Am I learning today? Let's do writing. Tomorrow let's do listening. Okay, let's a little bit watch the anime. Okay, try to listen. Today let's learn the kanji, and tomorrow let's a little bit do the speaking. Or I cannot. Oh shit, I cannot pronounce it. Maybe I just need more reading books. It's like so many things to do, and it's a lot of distraction. You actually really don't know what to really start today. I watch the video so I can little bit practice the listening. Okay, should I write down today kanji 1, and tomorrow I forgot the kanji, and the next I'm gonna do the grammar. And yes, today I did the grammar, and tomorrow I did the listening, and then the 1 month later you don't remember anything. That's when actually have the huge amount to do, like to study kanji, grammar, politeness, rudeness, and listening and speaking, pronunciation training, to speak a little bit faster, and it's so many things to do, right? You can't imagine if you really want to be a native, like native skill, because imagine we actually born, and until 20 years old, we actually 24 hours every day we grew in Japan. And I just finished the kanji when I was like 18, right? So you can't really learn and attach, and then you can really feel the progress if you're not learning correctly. It's you can just touch everything, but you can't feel the just the progress. That's the point. If you are already enjoying to just a little bit learn the one kanji, then it's okay. But if you say I want to see my progress, so I want to feel the progress that I'm learning every day, I can speak better than better, my speaking skill is much better than last year. If you really want to feel the progress, you need a right way to study. Otherwise, it's a huge, huge amount of study. So that's actually the reason I focus on to teach speaking part, because most of people who want to meet Japanese people, or who want to work in Japan, want to enjoy in Japan, they need communication. And these people really don't need kanji, which is you need 20 years for sure if you really want to read the newspaper. Believe me, I'm not saying like to learn one kanji. To learn one kanji, it's one day. It's just 30 minutes. But it's 2,500 if you really want to understand everything, how to use it, how to pronounce it, everything, the meaning, everything. It takes time. Yeah. So here we have comment. So my friends learning Japanese complain about all the time, yet they still somehow love it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. If you are enjoying the learning Japanese, that's no problem. But if you really want to see the progress, because you need to use, because I need to apply for the company, because I really don't have time to study every day like 5 hours like a university student, then you need something quick way and effective way to really feel the progress, so you can really feel, oh yes, I can really start understanding everything. So that was the reason, because I start focusing on the only correct learning way, That's the reason I learned English and then German and Greek just this 5 years. So that's why I'm focusing on the communication part. I'm not expecting myself to actually like certified that I have certificate or something. I don't have any English certificate. I don't have any Greek certificate. No German, nothing. But I can say I can speak. So I think it's my target is there. And what about you? Like, why are you learning? What is the actual goal? Or you just spending time with Japanese. That's if you are enjoying to just spend a time with Japanese language. That's also fine. So yeah. hmm So here there are a lot of comments. Thank you so much. Um. mhm, 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 mm, 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 mm. Okay, so it's interesting comment here in Japanese. 日本の心を知りたいら日本の神話と神道を学ばなければなりません。Interesting. So here it's written if you want to learn the Japanese mentality, like Japanese heart, you should learn Japanese like mythology and then Shinto, which is a Japanese common religion. So I don't think so. As a Japanese, if you actually really communicate with the Japanese all the time, you can understand what is the Japanese mentality, especially if you're using Japanese language. If you're just communicating with the Japanese in English, because the language is including the culture, so you cannot really understand the sensitivity of Japanese, people's thinking way. Because, for example, why Japanese language is really sensitive? Because, for example, if you just say "I forgot it," I forgot it. How do you say? Do you know how do you say? I forgot it in Japanese. We have so many ways to say, but it's if you really translate it in English, you cannot see this difference because its translation it goes one. I forgot it, right? So, for example, Japanese, you can say "忘れた," I forgot it. There's no anything like apology or something. It's just I forgot it. No regret, no mistake feeling. You just say, yeah, I forgot it. Of course, I forgot it. 忘れた. 忘れました. It's the same meaning, but it's also a little bit more polite. 忘れた to 忘れました. A little bit you are express yourself a little bit humbly because you are saying polite. Yeah? And the next is 忘れてしまいました. 忘れた忘れました忘れてしまいました. 忘れてしまいました is including the regret. You feel regret, you feel sorry about that, and you actually really express yourself, I made a mistake. But its translation is just I forgot it. So we have like 3 layers. 忘れた忘れました。忘れてしまいました。Yeah. 忘れちゃった。忘れちゃった is actually the fourth layer. The fourth layer is actually you actually expressing yourself. I'm sorry. I regret that I forgot it. But also a little bit more cute way. It's 忘れちゃった. I'm sorry. I just forgot it. A little more kawaii style is 忘れちゃった. This is a fourth layer. Okay? So, 忘れた, I forgot it. No feeling. Of course I forgot it. What's the problem? 忘れました. Yeah, I forgot it. I'm sorry for that. Still a little bit more polite. 忘れた is rude. 忘れました is a little bit polite. 忘れてしまいました. It's really polite, but also I regret and I feel sorry about that. And I'm still I still polite. 忘れちゃった is still you are actually expressing that is I feel sorry about that, but a little bit cute. 忘れちゃったごめん。忘れちゃったごめん. It's cute way to say I forgot it. crazy. What the fuck this language? I really feel like I'm native Japanese, but what is this? I forgot. Just I forgot it. You can say so many ways. A little bit cute, super serious, a little bit serious, but it's like, yeah, of course I forgot it. To super, super actually rude that I forgot it. 忘れた. Yeah. So I think until now I learned English, Greek, and German, and I see it's European culture and American, Canadian, all this culture. I think it's Japanese language. I can say one of the most sensitive language that you can really express like small differences. I just say I forgot it, but you can say a little bit cute or a little bit really humble. I'm sorry to really rude. Can you imagine each phrases you have this difference? So that's why if you really want to speak Japanese naturally, ask actually how to speak naturally, not learn just the grammar book because you don't know what is this layer differences. It's gonna take a lot of time to learn just by yourself. So let's see. So Jax, I was 8 years in Japan with my grandmother, so she focused on phrases every week. After 8 years, she was almost a native speaker. Listening, practice, focus, motivation, that is all you need to do. Yeah, I really super agree. Yes, exactly. Why children learn the language so fast? Do you know why? Do you know why children learn the language so fast and we adults are very, very slow? Very, very slow. One reason, please write it down here. Why, like 3 or 4 or 5 years old children learn any languages so fast and why adults are so slow? I'm doing the lot of lesson always, and so many people say I'm learning Japanese 1 year, 2 year, I still cannot speak almost nothing. It's all the time same. 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, I'm learning, but I cannot really speak. Why? Try imagine 1 or 2 or 3 years for the children. It's just a 3 years old to 6 years old, right? They improve so much, right? 3 years old children to 6 years old children. Super, super huge improvement you can see. Why adults are so slow to learn? 25 years old to 28 years old, 3 years, but it's not big differences that, the language speaking skill. Of course, sometimes you can really learn faster. That's why this person has the right way to study. Yeah, so that's why when we making a mistake to make the progress fast, that will be the huge mistake because you really don't see the progress. Last year to this year, it's every day same level. Yeah. So in order to not be like that or super slow learner, it's last year it was the same level and this year it's the same level. What's going on? Yeah, so that's why if you don't want to be like that super slow learner, what do you think? Why children learn so fast? One reason, please write it down here. Yeah, so try to write it down. Hi, Terumi-san, Philippine. Philippine です. What is Philippine? So, Philippine, right? It's a spell mistake. So, Philippine. No problem. You can learn today. Mistakes is your actual progress. When you make mistake, you can really learn. This is Philippine, but you have to spell Philippine is the correct. Okay. So, what do you think? What is the reason why children learn so fast and adults are really, really slow? For example, I really promise you, if you learn correctly, you can be fluent just 2 months in Japanese. 2 months. 2 months. Of course, it's not all aspect of Japanese. I'm not saying you can really discuss about like a medicine or economy, but you just make a natural conversation for 10 minutes with a stranger because I want to make a friend. It's of course enough. 10 minutes conversation or 30 minutes conversation with a stranger. Yes, 2 months is really enough. So, but it's why people are hoping to be a Japanese speaker like one day, 5 years, 10 years, still they cannot feel that I can speak fluently. Why it's taking so much? So I can tell you the reason. First of all, why children learn so fast. Children's 1 year is like 10 years differences between like of adults, right? Because you know 3 years old children to 4 years old, their language skill improvement is a huge. They can really speak so fast, so natural. Vocabulary level super increased. Why like adults are really slow? So then it's one reason is what is a routine. So first of all, if you really want to be able to speak, you need a repetition. Repetition repetition because repetition only can help your speaking skill. Mhm. Because when you speak you don't have time to think about grammar at all. Believe me, when you try to speak Japanese, do you really have the time to think about grammar? When you are speaking your native language, do you really think about grammar all the time? What do you think? No one actually thinking about grammar when the person is speaking really naturally. Only the person who cannot speak naturally, they are thinking about grammar all the time. So that's why they're really slow. I'm speaking English now, right? 日本人です。日本語が一番ナチュラルに話せます。もちろん。Of course, I can speak Japanese naturally. This is the most comfortable language. うん。日本語話せた方がめっちゃめっちゃ楽です。もちろん。英語は話すのは、慣れてきたけど、でもそれでもやっぱ時間かかるね。So still I'm, getting used to speak English, but of course, I'm native Japanese. When I speak Japanese, it's the most comfortable. Yeah. But it's both language. When I'm speaking English, when I'm speaking Japanese, I'm not thinking about the grammar at all. Of course, I'm not translating Japanese to English. I don't have so much time to think about it. 日本語を話してるときに、英語のこと考えたり、他の言語を話したり考えたりすることは、そんなことはありません。翻訳したりしません。I never translate English to Japanese when I'm talking. Right? So, there's no point to actually try to translate or thinking about grammar when you want to talk. There's no point. So why people can speak language so fast? So if you really want to speak Japanese so fast, what do you need? What do you need? This is a key. If you really want to be able to speak fluently in Japanese or any language, any new language. どうしてね、言語をペラペラペラペラ話せるようになるんでしょう。人はどういうことを考えているんでしょう。人はどんなことを考えているんでしょう。So, what they are thinking when we are talking. So, only it's memorization. It's like a song. 上の初の夜行列車降りた時から like let's say like a Japanese enka, like a traditional Japanese song. I can sing like this, or like like another song, whatever, like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Any song. Why people can sing? Because they remember the tone. Yeah. 残酷な天使の手ぜ like Evangelion, like opening music, right? Whatever, any anime song or Japanese enka song or like music, like any music, English song, whatever. Why people can sing? Because we just remember, because we just sang so much, right? So the language, if you really want to speak, you need to remember the right tone and the right phrase. When I was young, I wanted to be a singer, and I sang the same song all the time. And even I can close my eyes and I can really sing perfectly. Especially, I had the band. I have to sing in front of the people. It's really stressful because people looking at me, and I need to sing perfectly. I don't have the I don't have the time to see the paper. I just need to sing in front of people without paper. So now I realize, oh my god, the language learning and that means speaking is the same. If you're just looking at the textbook, you can't be fluent because you're looking at the paper. It's like you become actress or actor, you are still looking at the books and you are actually not acting. So that's why if you really want to speak naturally in front of the people confidently, you need to memorize the each phrases. That's a key. Don't think that it's you actually thinking about grammar when the people are talking. No, it's just more simple. uh, People can speak because they remember. Try imagine when actually you are speaking about speaking about native, language, native any language or like your song. Why you can sing? Because you remember. That's it. It's more simple. So that's why if you really can control your brain to memorize it everything, this is a key to be actually be fluent. So finally, you need to memorize it everything. You need to memorize each phrases. What phrases is necessary for your everyday life? That will be the actual key to be fluent as soon as possible. But you will never hope to be able to speak by learning grammar. Mm. Okay. So what do you think here? Um, Comment. Thank you so much. I understand Japanese only because I watch anime for 10 years. So, anime watching anime is really common. I think one of the most famous things about Japan is anime, I think. Uh Watching anime and communication is totally different things, It's I'm Japanese. So many people loves like American movie and like Marvel and any like American comics movie, right? But it's if you actually really go to Japan, not many people can speak English. So that's why watching something to speak something is two totally different things. Yeah, so that's why, yeah, this is a fact. Yeah, it's so famous American culture in Japan, but almost no one can really speak English fluently. So that's a fact. When you actually go to Japan, you really feel that you need to speak Japanese. Anyway, we have 100 million people, so yes. Uh, if you want to go to Japan, yes, please be ready to speak Japanese every day. Mhm. So, pretty much, I think 54 minutes. I just spoke randomly. I hope you had a good time. If you have any last question, you can request something. And then if you actually are interested in to be able to speak Japanese because you really need, because you don't want to spend the time for no progress, join our master course, japanlanguagefactory.com. because we are the only one in the world this language speech coaching school we're doing. So you can really learn what is a nice way to speak with the people. Oh no, this is really rude. You have to speak this one is a polite way because they really feel good with you. So that's why if you want to interact with the Japanese because you want to meet more Japanese people, because you want to make Japanese friends, because you want to live in Japan, because you want to actually start working with Japanese. Anyway, whatever, if you really want to meet Japanese people and then start something new life, join our master course. You can really understand exact way to how to speak nicely. Nicely is a point. Of course, you can speak whatever Japanese. I mean, rude or like unnatural, really wrong, whatever Japanese is, you can do it. But a nice way, then you can join our master course. So, thank you so much. 皆さん、本当にありがとうございました。皆さん、楽しかったかな？皆さん、また、ライブストリーミングにぜひ、ジョインしてください。また会えることを楽しみにしてます。またね、皆さん。